Hey friends, Herman Morris from Alpha One Tactical here. Time for another review. The last couple of reviews were for newer items. It was more of like first impressions because obviously I hadn't had that much time using those items. And so in this case, I wanted to do something that was more of a long-term review for something that I've been using for a while. So I wanted to give you my thoughts on the aftermarket Glock magazines or Pmags by Magpul. Here is a 17 rounder, so for Glock 17. I also have one for my Glock 19, it's a 15 round version. And I also, a few months ago, I bought a 27 rounder for a pistol caliber carbine. So they all pretty much work exactly the same. And I just wanted to give you my thoughts because they've been out for a few years now. As I mentioned in the previous S15 magazine review, for the longest time, pistols, basically up until just recently, everybody just used the proprietary mags from the manufacturer, and it was completely the opposite with rifles. Rifle manufacturers rarely made their own magazines. You just used, existing GI mags or Magpul Pmags or any other manufacturer. It was mostly all aftermarket. Pistols were all OEM. So as of the last few years, that's kind of changing. And so I wanted to start trying those out and see if the Pmags or in general, the aftermarket magazines for pistols are as good and dependable as the rifle magazines have been. And so I think we're starting to get there, but I wanted to give you my thoughts, especially on these, given that you can save quite a bit of money going aftermarket as opposed to OEM, but is it worth it? Well, let's jump right to it.
All right, guys, so I'm at the range. We're going to be showing you how these Magpul Pmags for Glock work. I'm going to be showing you the 15 rounder, so this is for my Glock 19. Right here I have some steel cased cheapo ammo, some Winchester Walmart stuff, so I always like to test my magazines with the cheapest thing stuff I can find to make sure, or to confirm or rule out whether they work with that or not. And then I have just my regular training ammo. This is a mix of Salient and below. I also have some Fiocchi and some Blazer, so good quality factory stuff, and we'll see how they fare. All right, so the stock OEM mag, Glock mag right here, you can see, had no issues with the steel cased ammo. And then I reloaded the Magpul mag, only went through a couple of shots. So we're gonna go through the rest of the mag and see how it fares. All right, so here we go. Come around. So we have basically a failure to feed, and that's the most common issue that we see with these. Okay, so I just tap rack. Now it locked it out. Come back in, check this out. Basically when the rounds bind inside of the magazine, nothing comes back up. So right now I just got basically slide lock, even though there's plenty of rounds in there. So that's the biggest issue that we see with these. Okay, so usually either just removing the magazine shuts it back in. Hopefully we can now get another one feeding. Okay, and then we can get back to, okay, again. Tap, rack, still issue. Okay, and you can see now they're completely loose in there. So now I just flip backwards, so this is complete junk right here. Okay, so I'll just call it a day with these.
On a different outing out at the range, I had actually tried the 27 rounders as well. You can see me trying this on my Roni. I'm basically using my Glock 17 and I keep getting hang-ups on it. In this case, I just couldn't get the pistol to shoot. I don't think if it was going back into battery, was able to strip out the magazine. And yes, there was still rounds in there. I don't know exactly what caused that issue. So I kept going. As you can see here, I got a type 1 essentially, kept shooting, and then I got another stoppage. At this point, I thought it was basically just the magazine was empty, so I transitioned to my next magazine, which is all of the good quality brass cased ammo. As you can see here, no issues at all. It keeps cycling without a problem, and I go through the entire mag without one malfunction. And then finally, when I pick up the other magazine, I find that there are rounds still left in that magazine. You can see them. It's just that the rounds are bound up in there, just like in I just showed you previously with the Glock 19 mags. Now here we have just the good ammo, just all brass case stuff. The rest of the day I just shot magazine after magazine of the good stuff without any issues. All right, guys, I hope that that helped. Again, I'm pretty happy with these for the price. Know what you're getting into, know what the limitations are. I definitely, using good quality ammunition as I showed, these things will run. I think the fact that the OEMs now have competition has brought the price of even the OEM magazines, which is a good thing. That means we all win as consumers. So right at the beginning, these were probably about half the price of our regular OEM magazines. The OEM magazines have since gone down in price significantly. As I'm taping this, there's a big rush to buy a lot of guns and ammo and accessories and stuff. So that's probably not the case as I'm recording this. But in general, I think that these type of things put downward pressure on the OEMs, which is a good thing again for the consumer. So know what you're getting into, before you buy, but definitely something to consider if you're going to be using good quality ammo, anything, staying away from the cheapo steel case stuff. And this one I have, for instance, this is not brass, this is nickel plated. For these high-end defense rounds that are nickel plated, not a problem either. So brass, nickel plated, high quality stuff, no problem. The only real issue is with those cheap, gritty steel cased ammo, Wolf, and like I just showed, that Winchester stuff, whatever. Everything has its place, guys. There's no one solution for everything. So just know what to expect. Manage your expectations accordingly, and get the best gear that you can afford. All right, I'll see you next time.